हेलो एज यू हैव सीन द थंबनेल देख के आपको पता ही चला होगा कि आज से हम स्टार्ट करने वाले हैं लर्निंग द बेसिक एक्सेल पार्ट्स राइट. So this is part 1. In this part we are just going to explore the excel overview, right? I know most of you guys are already familiar with the excel view, excel ribbons, what is workbook, what is worksheet, right? And what are the ribbons in the excel. So here you can see this is the brand new excel is open with some data in it, right? This is the sample data, but let's not go into the data and just try to explore what excel offers, right? So what you are seeing in front of you, this is the excel workbook. There are two things in the excel. First is the excel workbook in which you store the data, right? And other is which is worksheet. So many students are little bit confused in between what is worksheet and what is workbook, right? So consider worksheet is a it is just a small piece inside a workbook, right? So what is open in front of you is the workbook, and what you see at the bottom, these are the worksheets. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, and you can have thousands or maximum or the many numbers of worksheet over here. You just have to click plus, and this will get added one by one after another. So these are the worksheets, and what you are seeing is the entire workbook. Okay. Okay, and what these things are? These are the ribbons. We call it as a ribbons, and every ribbon has its own use, right? Like home ribbon has number of options available where you can explore a lot of things, like just to format what the style of your text would be, what the size of your text would be, and what is the color for your cell, for your text, for your background, whether you want a border for this particular cell or data or table, or let's say if you want to change this selection to a table, or let me show you that you can go to home tab, then you go to format as a table. Now whatever you have selected is going to convert in the format as a in the form of a table. So what is the table, and what this data shows, right? Isn't this data as stored as a table? No, this is not a stored. This data is not stored as a table right now, because these are the normal normal format of the cells. Normal format, it means it does not contain the properties of table. So what are the properties of table? We're going to learn it later on, right? So as of now, let's just explore the home ribbon. Okay, so what I'm doing right now, I'm just entering I have pressed the shift key. I'm entering the down arrow, so it is selecting one after another cell, right? And if I just click the right key by holding shift, then it will select the one after another column. Okay, and same time if I want to select other next row, 8 number row, so I will still hold the shift and enter the down key. So this is you wanna select, or if you want to unselect or deselect whatever it is, then you just left, so one column is unselected. If I press the up key, it will unselect the rows which were selected previously. So there are lots of shortcut keys available. We are going to explore one by one in upcoming videos, or in the I'll let you know. Okay, So if I want to convert this selection into a table, I'll just go to home tab, go to styles and style section and format as a table. So there are number of formats given over here. You can select whichever you prefer. If I enter, if I click here, this, you will see the prompt here where the data of your table, where is the data of your table. So I have intentionally selected this cell, this number of cells. So this is recognized it as a from A1 to D8. You can see over here 8 is the row, D is the column. So ending here D8 is the same. Okay. So if I go to, and my table has a header, so obviously my table has headers. If I uncheck it, it will create headers above the first row. Okay, but in this table I have headers, first row as a header. I click OK. Now this is converted to a table, right? So whatever this, you don't see something here, right? But the data is present over here. You can see it in the formula bar. It is just that the table format you selected, it has the header in the white color. You can always go and click to change to black. Okay. Okay, sorry. Background is also white and color is also white. So okay. Background, let's make background black and color of text to white. It is default behavior of that table format. Okay, so there are a number of formats. You can select whichever you want. So this was the in-depth of the table as a part 1b. Okay, so there are number of options given in the home tab. Similarly, there are number of options given in the insert tab. What does insert means? It means you are trying to insert something in this Excel sheet. So what you want to try to insert? We want to insert an image, we want to insert a shape, we want to insert some smart art. So we definitely going to see that things. But in insert tab, you are going to deal with, most of the time you are going to dealing with the pivot tables and pivot charts. Number of charts are there. In many cases you are trying to import some images, so you will get some images over here, right? Sometimes you need some shape to add. Okay, so you will get some number of shapes here. After that, these some options are rarely used, but what mostly used are pivot table, pivot charts, sometimes images, and if you want to create some dashboard and want to have some slices, you'll definitely go here and add some slices, right? So these are options given in the insert tab. Page layout, it will definitely give you number of themes, different themes available for your page. Okay, so again these are the not generally most of the time used, the page layout section. Okay, because this depends on your use cases. Again, formula, if you're trying to explore the Excel and you're trying to understand what formulas Excel offers, you can just go to formula section and have this library function over here. You will get the categorized formulas, right? It is just to explore, but by the way you cannot mug up or remember all of the Excel formulas. It depends which formulas you generally prefer to use in your work. So if you start working with the formulas, you will automatically remember it or learn it by default. So there is no need to explore each and every formula. How does it work? What parameters? What argument it takes? Right? So there is no actually need to explore that things in that depth. The learning process should be, you have some work, then you have some questions how to do that work, then you will go and find the related formula. If you start working with that formula on regular basis, you will definitely learn it. You just really don't need to mug all these formulas because it has a lot of formulas. If you see recently used formulas, I used these formulas recently used: if, percentage rank, sum, if, mid, transpose. Okay. Most of the time I use if, ifs, count ifs, sum ifs, or VLOOKUP I regularly use, right? VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, index match, XLOOKUP. So these are some formulas I regularly use, and I don't need to write them down, mug up them, remember them. It is just, it will come into your blood naturally when you start working. You have lots of logical formulas, again text formulas. It has a lot of collection, lookup formulas, math and trigonometries, more functions. We will see it later on. Okay, it is just exploring. We are just exploring right now. So I'm just taking you through all these ribbons. What these are. Okay. Again, in formula section, you generally don't need to go particular to formula section and explore something. It will just depend. It depends on your case, how you are working with the data. So data, right? In after home ribbon, what my favorite ribbon is data ribbon, because you will have a lot of things to do with the data. I personally prefer to understand each and every component of this data ribbon, because it will help you a lot. It will reduce your lot of time, right? uh, Doing manual stuff, right? So if you go to data, you can always get number of options. You get number of options to import data from. You can import data from another Excel file, XML data format, JSON data format, CSV or Excel, right? Or there is one option which is from folder. If you have stored number of files in the folder which has same format but in different files, you can go to the format and okay, what is it doing? Not responding. Okay, no problem. I can say it later on. Okay. So you have option to get data from folder. Go to folder. You have number of files with the same data format. You can import that folder, and you'll throw back to the Power Query editor. So we are going to talk it about later on. So data pane offers, data ribbon offers you to get data from lots of options. You can have the data from Access databases. You can have it from SQL databases, right? Again, so there are number of options. We will see one lecture on the data pane, right? So this is the get data pane. After that, you have a refresh option. You can suppose you have imported data yesterday, and today you want to some I want to see if there is change in the data or the report after adding some new data in the tables. So if you go and hit a refresh, it will refresh whatever the data is added and create some updated reports, so that you can see the updated reports, right? After that, sort options, you generally go here and you'll see the sort options over here only. But this sort option has some explicit use. I'm going to tell you about this, how to sort multiple columns at once, right? Multiple column sorting is done by this option. We will see it later on. This is the filter pane. There is another. Okay, you can directly let me show you that I remove this filter in a single click, right? I did not go to data pane and I did not go to this option to remove or add filters. So this is very basic, I would say, if I know the shortcuts, right? So I will teach that to you also. I just entered a shortcut key, Control Shift and L, right? So it added a short filter. It removed the shortcut filter from the same shortcut. Okay, again there is a data validation, when merge, remove duplicate, right? So there are number of options. You can consolidate the data in a single cell. Okay, so these are the some options available in the ribbons, right? You can protect, how to protect your worksheet, how to protect your workbook, how to protect a particular section of your data, how to hide a formula. So these number of options are available in the review tab, the protection sheet or protect workbook options. If you protect your sheet, you will get number of options, that which part do you want to which part you want to let which part of the worksheet you want to protect, and which cells you do not want to protect, or which options do you want to offer while protecting a worksheet. Suppose you want to let them change the formula, or delete the first sale, or do not let you want to delete the tail sale, want to enter a column or enter a rows, or do not want to. So these are number of options. We will see that in another section, right? Since this is the introduction video, this is the very first lecture. I'm just let we are just seeing what Excel offers, right? So in again review tab, this protection sheet is important, not other stuff is that much important, right? Again view tab, I use it to just remove grid lines and to add grid lines. If you see, let me say, okay, here you see, here you don't see any grid lines. If I click this, by control A, remove grid lines, add grid lines. Let me see that. Okay. Here you see, grid lines are added. If I go to view tab and remove this grid line, the grid lines are removed, right? So this options is this is one of the option I prefer in here. Another option is freeze sale. If I want to freeze the sales, let's go here, and if I go down, I see there are header are removed. I cannot see the headers, right? But if I go and use Alt WFF, so now I can see the headers. It will not be hidden, right? So this is the freeze pen offers for you, and I knew the shortcut, so I did it by using shortcut. Otherwise you can always go to view, freeze pen and freeze pens, right? We will see it later on, most in the depth. After that I don't see any other option which I used most frequently. Okay, so developer tab is very interesting. It is one of the favorite of mine. After home tab, data tab, and after home tab, data tab, I prefer developer tab because it offers very unique feature, which is creating macro, automate tasks, and let you create some code to automate your tasks, or record your task to automate, right? So this is another level of Excel. In developer tab, you can go to Visual Basics. You will find there is another one tab open here, right? So what is it? So it is a very interesting option given by the Microsoft Excel, that you can automate your task, but not by clicking somewhere, but you need a programming language, knowledge of the programming language, where you can write number of codes. And this is again, I just show you to let you know what Excel offers. You can automate tasks by using the Visual Basics, or you can create macro always, or record a macro always. Okay. Again, power pivot, and since you have created a table, it will show the table design. Otherwise, power pivot is also option where you can create models, right? And use that models to create some dashboard and data analysis purpose. So for today's lecture, I think this was the brief about the Excel, and it was quite fast, I know. Since we are going to see each and everything in depth, so we are going to learn step by step in upcoming lectures. So if you want to learn more about Excel, please, I request you to stay tuned with this channel. So for that, you have to subscribe the channel, right? So make sure you subscribe and let me know what doubts, what things you want to learn in the upcoming series. I'll definitely create videos on the as per your request. So thank you guys. See you in the next lecture.